most important thing that I recommend to my owners is like they are asking me for grooming sessions. Can we come down and can we have a bath or something? I'm asking them to just go for brushing, regular brushing, and 80% of your things will be taken care of. Because if you brush them regularly, you touch them, you feel their coat, you'll be able to know that he's having any sort of skin problems, he's having any sort of knots, any ticks, fleas, anything. So the first sign could be detected very easily.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello, how are you?
Hi, Dr. Pandey. Good. How are you?
I'm good. Perfectly fine.
Okay. Sorry, we had a bit of technical difficulties earlier.
No issues. Am I audible?
Yes, very clear. Yes, Saloni, I think that's what happened. Yes. And also, Saloni, can you help me in pinning that comment, please? Thanks. So, Doc, I was telling our viewers today that, you run Doggy World in Delhi, and also, besides being a vet, you also have a grooming salon. And if they have any grooming questions during this time, because I know people take their pets to grooming salons, and right now everything is closed. So if they need help with that, they can ask you about that as well. So would you like to tell our viewers a little something about yourself before we go with questions?
Yeah, actually, as you have already mentioned that I'm a veterinarian and I've got practice in Delhi. I've got 3 centers here. So it's almost like been 20 years since I started my first center.
Wow.
And, it was before that I was into pharmaceutical marketing. But I felt that I am needed here because I had got a ardent love for the pets. So I shifted from there. All of a sudden, one day I went to the office and I said that I won't be continuing here any longer. And I put up my papers, and without anything in my hand, I came back home and dreamt of opening this. And it's been almost 20 years. Thank God, everything is going fine. And this was basically the first concept in India where everything was under single roof. Like clinic, pet shop, grooming parlor. There were no such centers where everything was under single roof. So I started with it and flourished, and we are doing good with so many pet lovers being a part of it.
No, that's great to hear. And Doc, I wanted to ask you a question. Where all do you have your clinics and the grooming parlors?
Actually, I have 3 as of now. One is in Rohini Sector 24. The other one is in Rohini Sector 8. And the third is in Modern Town.
Okay. And all 3 are open right now?
No, because of the lockdown, we have reduced down our working, and we are working only at one center. That's in Rohini Sector 8. And there too, we are trying to take only the emergencies because we don't want that more people should be there at a single place. Plus, we don't want that the crowding should be there, and everything should be kept smoothly and done smoothly.
Right. So you recommend that people call your clinic before coming in, right? So no walk-ins?
Definitely. I've sent out Facebook messages, even messages telling people that call instead of coming directly. Right. Many a times there are small things that can be taken care of only on the phone itself. So we try people not to come out, try to take our advices. But yes, in case of emergencies, we want that they should come. And we try to maintain the distance, though at times it is annoying at the end of the customers because they want to be preferred. But we are taking all the precautions, and we are claiming to the people also to take care of their pets and maintain all sort of social distancing that is possible.
Yes. No, I understand because I'm also a warrior. I have 2 dogs. And
that's wonderful.
So, but I've been following social distancing, and one of our dogs needed veterinary assistance, and we called a regular vet instead of just showing up first. So yeah, I know, I understand the panic, but I also understand the need to, for you to be able to schedule people in a timely slot so that everyone doesn't land up at the same time.
Definitely.
And Karan is asking what is your clinic's number? Sorry. So if you can just tell us.
Yeah, it is 98112.
Okay.
99059.
990. Yeah.
98112
Yeah.
99059.
Okay. I'm just posting it up here. So, it stays in the chat, guys. Our live video will be available to you for 24 hours. So you can also go through the comments and see I've posted the phone number there for everyone to see. And so, how can we take care of our pets at this time?
I think this is the best time to take care of the pets, because normally we always keep on complaining we don't have time for his grooming, we don't have time for him. But what I feel like this is a blessing in disguise, because now we have loads of time to spend with them, to take care of them and to pamper them. So the most important thing that I recommend to my owners is like they are asking me for grooming sessions, can we come down and can we have a bath or something? I'm asking them to just go for brushing, regular brushing, and 80% of your things will be taken care of. Because if you brush them regularly, you touch them, you feel their coat, you'll be able to know that he's having any sort of skin problems, he's having any sort of knots, any ticks, fleas, anything. So the first sign could be detected very easily. So if now we have lots of time, brushing is the most important thing. Apart from brushing, the most ignored part in our grooming is dental care, which normally pet owners say, "Yaar, apna hi time nahi milta how to take care of dogs and all." So now you have lots of time. Instead of going for a brushing twice a week, you can do it daily, because you can spend so much time with them. Bathing, obviously, it's a bit tedious process. But never mind, the weather have been a bit better, so you can enjoy bathing with the dog, and scrubbing, washing him once in a while. It is also fun.
Yes.
So we have some time now, so let's enjoy that thing also.
So, you said we can bathe the dogs at home. So I have a question there. Which shampoo is good enough? Is human shampoo good enough for our dogs? Let's say if we don't have something and we are used to taking our dog to a grooming place for getting a bath, and we don't keep dog shampoo at home. So then what is the alternative for that?
In that case, I would prefer a neutral pH shampoos. The best will be Johnson's Baby Soap. Any sort of baby shampoos. Baby like Johnson's Baby shampoos and soaps, they are the best thing. And otherwise, normal massage it with a normal massage, and then maybe you can follow up with a simple water bath with added Savlon in it, so that the final things can be taken care of.
Okay, thank you. We have Rahul here. Hi, Rahul. What is the main reason of hotspot in dogs? How to treat and prevent hotspot on dogs?
Okay. I think the main reason for hotspot is the external parasites. 90% of the cases is because of the external parasite. Let it be ticks or fleas or any sort of flies that are irritating the dogs. That is the most common reason for the hotspot. And once it develops, the dog starts scratching itself. And once it starts scratching, the fungus and the bacterial infection gets into it. So that's what I was saying. The first and the most important thing is grooming your pets, because even a slightest thing, you can visualize it right in the very beginning. So if even there's a single flea or there's a tick or there's a simple scratch, that can be taken care of then and there instead of it becoming a big thing. So the best option is if you see any sort of hotspots developing on the body, just try to clip that hair around that area as close as possible. Don't do it close shaving, otherwise you might injure the skin also. So just clip it as close as possible. Clean it with a normal antiseptic, maybe Savlon or Betadine, and then apply any sort of antiseptic ointment that you have at the home. Because they are like the irritating spots. They can be treated even by a normal Soframycin ointment or a Betadine ointment. Only thing is you have to prevent the further scratching by the dog. But in case it is spreading to a larger area, then obviously you need to see a vet for that.
I hope that answered your question, Rahul. Hi, Mom. My mother-in-law is here, and she's asking, do you recommend doses of biotin for maintenance of coat in dogs?
Yes, we do it. But as a normal routine thing, we don't recommend it. Only thing is once he's shedding a lot or he's showing some signs of it, then it is fine. Otherwise, what I recommend is two things needs to be taken care of. One is regular massaging of the dog, which is highly ignored. We brush him and that is very casual thing. We never massage the dog, though we don't have to apply.
How do you massage?
Pardon?
Like just rubbing of the dog, you're saying? Just
Rubbing of the dog. Just rub them,
oh,
and
okay.
Preferably for a small hair dog, it has to be in the reverse direction, from tail to head, so that the natural oil of the skin comes out and it becomes glossy and becomes soft. So the hair condition of the dog improves by it. And the second thing is to give a good quality diet, that is like a rich diet. Especially, we totally avoid the fats and oil from the dog's diet, but it is needed to some extent, especially for the coat. So I would prefer maybe some mild doses of omega-3, omega-6 fatty acids, or normal capsules that we take of 7 C's that contains the fish oil, that can be added to his diet. Otherwise, good doses of curd, egg, that take care of the skin. Unless there's some sort of a deficiency, all these things take care of the coat very.
Okay. So even in summers, we can continue to give the 7 C's capsule?
Yeah,
to the dog?
Yeah. It has nothing to do with the heat or anything. It is just like a supplement that can be given anytime throughout the year.
I'm just asking because I only got it in the winter from my mom, so I wasn't sure.
No, definitely.
Okay. Mansi is asking, what about dog nail? Mansi, sorry, I don't understand your question. If you can just type out what about dog nails you want to know, how, I mean. And Radhika had asked, what is hotspot? And my mom-in-law has answered it. She's saying hotspot is an itchy patch, which is wet and weepy, which I think is also covered. And Anuj is saying, hi ma'am, nowadays my dog is not following his daily routine of food. Nowadays he sleeps a lot like lazy boy and only eats food like roti paneer in evening. Is there any problem?
I think it might be the change of the weather, because slightly the summers have started setting in. So in the summers, they become a bit lazy and they tend to avoid eating also. And it could be also if he's been more indoors because of the lockdown, people are not taking out for long walks. So once the walks are not quite long, so their activity level goes down. Once the activity level goes down, they tend to skip meals. Till the time he's active while he's playing, he's not showing any signs of fever, vomiting, loose motions, and he is eating at least 70 to 80% of his diet. I don't think there's much to worry about.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so follow-up question from my mom-in-law. She's saying, would pure coconut oil, can it be added in food in summer?
Can be added to the food.
Yeah.
Yes, small quantities of it can be added. Definitely, maybe 1/4 spoon for a lab size of a dog can be given on a daily basis. Even before you are planning to bathe your dog, you can apply a small quantity of coconut oil on the body itself. But that should be only before you are planning to bathe him. It should not be like you apply it and leave it that way, because it will attract more dust and things will settle down on his skin. So before, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours before you plan to bathe him, you can apply him. You can even give it in the oral diets. That's perfectly fine.
Thank you. Okay, so Mansi has clarified. She wants to know how to cut her pug's nails.
Pug's nails?
Yeah.
That's a very dicey thing. Don't even try it at home. You can wait for another 15 days, 20 days for the clinics to reopen, because once it starts bleeding, if you go a bit deep, you won't be able to manage it. Because many a times there's very thin line, and especially the pugs have got black nails. So it becomes very difficult to identify that line. And in case you are a bit deep, it's going to bleed like anything. And then you'll have to rush to the clinic for an emergency. Try avoiding it as much as possible.
Okay, thanks, Doc. Rahul has another question. He's saying, how can we detect if there is tick fever in dogs without blood test? Is there any option?
No, there's no alternative to blood test, frankly speaking, because tick fever comes in all sorts of variations. Like it says like it is a tick fever, but it's many a times it comes without fever. it is shown only as dullness. It shows with vomiting. It comes with loose motion. So there are so many symptoms that unless you see blood coming from some point, like maybe in the blood in the urine or blood in the motions, you can never think that it could be tick fever. They come in all different sorts of symptoms. So it's, if you're doubting there's some problem and you have got the pet has got ticks, the first thing is go for a test, at least the hematology, so that we can know what's the cells are saying, like platelets are how much, the hemoglobin is how much, things.
Okay. Thank you. I hope that helps you, Rahul. Gauri is asking, my dog, it's a pug, is facing problems in breathing due to change in weather. He is taking cardio strength and Envas for the same. What can I do? He pants a lot after a short walk.
If he is on cardio strength and Envas, I think he has been detected with some sort of a cardiac ailment, because these medicines are basically for cardiac ailment. And I think for that, any changes in these type of medicines, the pet should be shown to the vet only, because heart medicines can't be like dealt with on the phone or something.
Right.
Yes, if he's panting a lot, try to avoid longer walks. Try to keep his activity as low as possible. And he should not be strained. He should not be exercised excessively. And maybe have a word with a vet who is seeing, because cardiac medicine is very dicey here and there.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, Gauri, please, please redirect this question to your regular vet, whoever has prescribed your pug these medications, and do a follow-up there. Shweta,
if she wish, she can forward the reports on my number that we had mentioned in the thing. Maybe she can forward me the reports, and then I can discuss with her personally regarding.
Okay. That's very kind of you, Doctor. Thank you. So, Gauri, we have posted the number in the comments. You can just scroll up and see the number. We'll also post it again later, and her contact information is on Instagram as well. So, just get in touch with Doc directly, and send your reports there for a further follow-up. Shweta is asking what to give for a little cold. Could hear in his voice. There's water coming out of the eyes. Rest is fine. Eating properly.
If he is eating properly, I think only for the cold you can give normal antihistaminic. Which breed did you mention? I missed it.
No, it's not said any breed. Shweta, if you can tell us what kind of pet you have, that will help. So, no, nothing.
Not a problem. You can give a normal expectorant, the basic things that we take. Any cough syrup, plus any histaminic that could be like a cetirizine or a Avil sort of a thing.
Okay.
But again, before medication, I think you must discuss with the vet directly, because all these things needs to be taken care of by according to the weight and all. So we don't want to overdose them.
Right. So Shweta, please, you can get in touch with Dr. Pandey directly on the number we have posted earlier. So, you can tell her the breed of your dog and the average weight, and also she can give you clearer dose for that. Radhika is asking, should we give Lift 52 to dogs randomly for healthy liver?
Yeah, you can give. That is something, it's a sort of a supplement. So supplements you can give, but why to overdose with anything? Once a dog is doing fine, he is active, he is not showing any signs of inappetence or anything, there's no need, but there's no harm in giving it. You can add any time when he's like doing it. If he's being a choosy eater, or you feel that he's not eating to that extent, yes, you can do that.
Okay, thank you. And my mom-in-law has a question about her Akita, who is 12 years old. And she's saying, what is a gentle pain medication regime for her Akita, which has chronic pain in his lumbar region? When I stop, he has bad pain and has problems getting up.
Okay. So how old is he?
He's 12. 12. He's 12 years old. Yeah.
Right. Because normally in the senior patients, the most safest thing that we say is maybe a Maftil sort of a thing, normal Maftil that we take. Okay. 500 mg Maftil can be given to him, because for a senior dog, any painkiller, you have to be very careful.
Oh, okay.
he's a senior dog, so
Yeah.
his kidneys and all those things might be compromised, and painkiller is one thing that we avoid giving in any senior dog. If he has some joint pains, joint supports or back supports are better rather than a painkiller directly.
Okay.
So
Thank
normally we prefer, like, a dog is 6 years or 8-year old, then his kidney and blood profile needs to be done. So most probably his vet might have taken the blood profiles. If his kidneys and everything is safe, everything is fine, then one medicine like Carodile, it comes in 100 mg pack, that can be given to him. Most probably he might be a kgs, so single tablet morning in the evening, or single tablet once a day can also be given. But this, again, after the kidneys are safe, after all the systems are safe, because he's a senior dog.
Okay. Thank you. So Anuj has a follow-up also. He's saying, thank you, ma'am. He's the one whose dog is not eating. He's saying, but my dog is taking only 30 to 40% of his daily routine food. If you want, I can come to your Rohini Sector 8 clinic because I'm a bit worried about his daily routine. So,
if you feel that he is like quite lazy and not responding and not very happy, yes, you can bring him down. That's not an issue. But otherwise, is he showing any other symptoms, like apart from once you are exciting him to play, is he playing with you or not? Is he showing any vomiting? Motions are normal or not? Any nose is like nose is moist, or is it dried up? So if he is showing any signs, yes, you can come down. Otherwise, maybe give another 2-3 days. Let's see how he responds. Another from the some other person's comment, like, you can give Lift 52 in the meantime.
Yeah.
And wait and watch for some time.
Okay. And Anuj, the number is there again. If you want to go and see her, just do give a call before going to the clinic, because the hours are also changed. I don't think you have regular operating hours, right? It's limited hours right now.
Yes, yeah. Limited hours, and we are placing the appointments accordingly so that we don't have rushes, because all 3 centers we have merged into a single one. So obviously, time left for there.
Okay. Then Daksh has a question. He's saying, I have a 3-year-old lamb. For the past couple of weeks, her skin is turning darker, more towards black, near her belly and near the front leg. Is this common or a matter of concern?
No, this is common. The pigmentation keeps on changing from season to season, from age to age. It keeps on changing. So I don't think it's a matter of worry at all. Just ask him to be relaxed. There's nothing to worry. Only thing is, if there are certain changes on the upper side of the body, like under the hair also, or if he is scratching, or if he is trying to bite that area, then it's a matter of concern. Otherwise, a simple pigment changing, it's nothing to worry. It changes with the time.
Okay, thank you. Radhika is saying, my dog is active, but his diet is reduced. He eats only when he feels like. Otherwise, he would not eat whole night. What should I do? It's a golden retriever.
Golden retriever. Again, you can try Lift 52 and try to increase her activity. Maybe make her run around in the house only, play with her, spend some more time. Because normally what happens once we are indoor, the dogs are also quite lazy. They stay with us, they sleep with us, they tend to follow us, and they are not going out to that time. So once they are active, their energy is being exhausted, so they tend to eat more. So try with Lift 52, increase the exercise. Let's see.
Thank you. Shweta, whose dog has caught a cold, she's saying it's a Dachshund.
It's a Dachshund. Okay, I think to begin with, you can give a syrup of Relent. Relent syrup, it comes, it's maybe 5 ml twice a day.
Okay.
He'll be a bit sleepy with that, but nose, like running nose and slight cold can be taken care of by it. And if you have access to any veterinary shop, try to get some immunity enhancers, like Immunol is there from Himalaya.
Okay.
That can alleviate the symptoms of it. It'll be immune system will be boosted up. So that sort of thing can be activated, right?
Thank you. Mansi is saying, lot of dogs not eating today. My pug dog, I think she wants to say pug, is ignoring to eat pedigree. Then what is the alternative?
He is not eating pedigree.
Yeah, not eating pedigree.
Not an issue. You can make a home cooked diet. You can mix and match. Let many small breed dogs are very fussy eaters. They don't want dog food. They want the diet that you are eating. So it's always a choice that you can mix and match the diets that can be given to the dogs.
Right.
Like they need, in the early growing stage, they need loads of protein. So maybe egg, paneer, curd, added with chapati or boiled vegetables can be given to him. But try avoiding giving the food that we eat, like the oily, spicy, and sweet things that we should not give. But you can definitely give a home cooked diet. It's not necessary that you go for a branded dog foods or thing. Only thing is you have to think about what exactly they need. Like they need protein in the growing stage. In the normal maintenance days, they don't need much of a protein. They need a balance of a carbohydrate and a protein. So you can mix and match with the home cooked diet. No issues with that.
Thank you. Rahul is saying, in this situation like COVID-19, which basic emergency you will suggest to pet owner to keep in home, like for fever or antibiotics? I think with
frankly
some
speaking,
basic
I don't
medicine.
recommend. I don't recommend my pet parents to self-medicate the patients, because the reason is you can't judge the temperature of them. Their normal temperature is up to 102 degrees. And
right.
Our normal temperature is 98 degrees. So when we touch their belly or we try to touch their ear, we find them to be warm. So many a times, even if they are not having any signs of fever, we add up giving a crocin or we add up giving some antibiotics. So self-medication, what I feel is not needed in the pet, because if he starts showing some signs of any sign, he'll show some signs. If it is fever, he'll show some signs. If there is some problem, he'll start showing some signs. So it's always better to discuss with the vet at that time that he's showing these signs and what all we need. Because the chemists are open in any case.
Right.
So you can visit it. Only thing is, like a crocin tablet is fine. You can take it a normal fever tablet that you can keep it at home, that we also have it. But again, the dose is to be taken care of. So it's always better to consult a vet before giving any medicines to these people.
Yeah. Thank you. Known by Abby is saying, my dog, Beagle, female, 2 years, is doing vomiting after eating potatoes and cucumbers. Please provide me home remedies.
So, first thing would be to stop cucumbers and potatoes. That would be the best thing. And I think might be she's not liking these things, or there might be some irritating thing, because many a times dogs doesn't like or they don't relish particular things. So stop that thing right away, and in case it doesn't recover, you can give the normal Digen syrup and will take care of the acidity part if it is because of the acidity, and the normal vomiting medicines that we give to the human patients that can also be given, like pantoprazole of D, that has pantoprazole and domperidone, that can be given for a pug. 20 mg tablet would be half tablet of 20 mg would be fine. So first thing is to remove the thing only. Start giving something else.
Thank you. Okay, so yeah, my mom-in-law, about her Akita, she's saying she's giving Ultracet. That's the painkiller she's giving.
That's perfectly fine. But again, as I mentioned, that it is a painkiller that will affect his kidneys in long term. So make sure that his all blood work is done regularly, especially the kidney profiling and the liver profiling is done regularly, because painkillers for a senior dog is always a dicey situation.
Okay, understood.
But
thank you.
That can be given.
Okay. We had an offline question before we started, so I'll address that. Hina had asked how to treat cataract and eye infection. She didn't specify if it's a dog or a cat. But
okay. Cataract, there's only one solution, is to get it operated. There's no other solution for the cataract. We need to get the things operated, and frankly speaking, you might find me to be like a negative person. I have never, frankly speaking, never seen a very successful cataract surgery. Not because the surgeons are not good, but the reason is that the pets don't cooperate. Because cataract requires a lot of good post-operative care. So, many a times dogs scratch their eyes post-surgery, dust goes into the eyes. So, frankly speaking, I have hardly seen 50% successful cases of cataract surgery. only because the dogs are not that easy. Like in a human being, you keep your eyes closed, you don't go out for the walks, you keep indoors, and all those things are taken care of.
Right.
But in the case of dogs, they accidentally or they deliberately scratch their eyes. So not a very successful thing in case of dogs. But for the cataract, surgery is the only option.
Yeah. But you recommend managing it with the cataract, managing their lifestyle and all.
Yeah,
because I'm guessing it's
cataract is something that will reduce their vision. It will not make them completely blind, frankly speaking.
Yeah.
And since they have got a small lifespan, like a 10 year, 12 years average lifespan, so normally cataract develops towards the senior age. So managing 2-3 years with a reduced vision, I think that can be maintained. Don't frequently change your furniture. They have got a idea of how to negotiate between the fixed things. And while taking out in the night, try if they are if you have live on a higher floor, try to carry him down because the stairs become a bit dicey things. And otherwise, they can manage it very perfectly. In the bright light, there's no problem. Only in the night situation, you have to manage with the stairs and no changes in the furniture, obviously.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point that we wouldn't even think of. You know, for us, it's like, okay, let's move this table there. But for the dog, it might be very disorienting.
Right.
Thank you. She also asked how to reduce earwax secretions.
Actually, earwax is a natural thing that should come out. Earwax is basically a sort of lubrication for the ear, and it has to be there. Only thing is that we need to clean the excessive thing. And what I prefer is a 15-day cleaning is a normal procedure. Normally, we prefer cleaning after 15 days, 20 days, so that the excessive can be removed.
But what is the best way? Because there is another question I see. It's asking about how to clean the dog's ears. What is the best way? So what do you recommend?
There are certain medicines that can be filled in the dog's ear canal, like amniotic is one of them, that you can fill in the ear canal and then leave the dog as such. He'll shake his head and the excessive wax that has been accumulated will dissolve and it comes out on the external ears. Once it is there, you have to just clean the external ears. Don't try to clean it from inside. Because even if you scratch a bit in the inner canal, the infection will set in and all sorts of complications will start coming. So it's always better just to fill the canal with those medicines, let the dog shake it, whatever is coming out, just clean the external areas. So that no harm is done to the ear canal. And maybe if you see there are certain signs of it, like a smelly ear or some discharge is coming out, then obviously it has to be professionally cleaned. Then take him to a vet and then he'll apply some medicines and then remove it completely. That way it has to be managed.
Thank you. Nidhi is asking how to boost our dog's immunity.
Boosting your dog's immunity, again, it's a very dicey thing. There are certain products that can be boosted. Like from Himalaya, we have got Immunol that help in increasing the immunity. Then there is Immugen from Cattle Remedies. So there are 2-3 products that help in improving. They are something like what we eat, like Chyawanprash type of a thing, so that help them improve it. But what I feel is, frankly speaking, if you pamper your pet, you spend quality time with them, you take care of their emotions, they are always immune to major problems. Obviously, some major things can happen, but these small things they can take care of themselves. Only thing is to pamper them and be close to them.
That's a wonderful suggestion. Thank you. We have a couple of thank yous for you. Anuj is saying thank you so much, everyone, for arranging this session. You've been a great help. And Daksh also is saying thank you. Shweta is asking, just reconfirming, you said relent for the cold, right?
Right. It is for the, it's not an antibiotic, it's just an antihistaminic, so that the slight runny nose and some allergic things can be taken care of. But if it has thick phlegm coming out from the nose, then you need to add some antibiotics. That we can discuss maybe with you can discuss it with your vet or you can call me, then we can start about it.
Thank you. Okay. Hi, Omi Auntie. She's asking, English Retriever is shedding a lot of hair now in particular, this despite him being brushed well every day. He's on top 10 and Merical. Is this normal?
Yes, this is normal because once the season is changing, like from summers we are entering into winters, or from winters when we are entering into summers. In both these seasons, the long hair dogs shed a lot.
Right.
It's like during the summers, the fur that comes, it is a bit lighter so that air could pass through it, and towards the winters, it will be a thicker coat. So normally there's always a change of coat in both of these seasonal changes. So this is quite normal. Apart from top 10 and I think he's mentioned some calcium supplement.
Merical.
These two can be continued because these are calcium and multivitamins. Just add a coat conditioner. That could be Nutri-Coat, or that could be Glossy Coat, or salmon oil. Either of these things can be added to his diet. Or if you don't have access to the veterinary shop, 7 C's capsules can be added. They are a good source of omega-3, omega-6 fatty acids.
Okay, thank you. Radhika is asking, how does tick fever develop? What color of the tick lice develops it? I had a black pug, Snoopy, who passed away 2 years ago due to this. I recently saw a black tick on my retriever. He's combed regularly.
The color or the texture of the tick doesn't decide, though there are certain species of ticks that transfer, but that won't be possible for you to understand in the normal conditions on his coat. The only option is the moment you feel that there is some problem, go for a blood test, at least a routine test. Don't go for a tick fever test, because tick fever test is a extensive test and it costs around 2,000, 2,500, the PCR test. But go for a normal blood work. That is the CBC platelet count. It will tell you 90% of the problem that the dog is undergoing. So there's no judging. If you have anything in doubt, just go and get the blood test.
Yeah. Thanks, Doc. And sorry to hear about Snoopy, Radhika. Really, never nice to hear about pets. And Mom, she's answered your question about dog ears. Sorry, I didn't realize it was you. And Rana is here. Hi, Rana. He's saying, is there any home remedy for UTI problems in the puppies? Giving apple cider vinegar will help.
Apple cider vinegar, it helps to some extent, but how much it will eliminate it, we are not sure, because normally we mix it with the other medication. Normally we mix with the antibiotics, or we mix it with the urinary alkalizers and all. So it helps to some extent, but only giving that, I am not sure how much it will help. And UTI is something, it is a very irritating disease, not because it can't be cured easily, but because it takes a lot of time. The time duration is quite long. So it's always advisable at the initial site itself, start consulting the vet. Because the urine test and the culture sensitivity, it will help it and can be taken care of very easily. Though apple cider vinegar helps a lot in some cases.
Basically, you're saying like it's a good supplement while on treatment.
Yes.
But it should be treated properly. Okay.
Properly, yes.
Ronak is saying, my 3-month-old unknown breed pup has developed some patches from where the hair is shed. Can you please help reason and remedy?
It might be like many a times in the small puppies, there are hot spots or there are milk spots that develop. If the skin is quite clear below the areas from where the hair have been reduced, or if everything is fine, he's not scratching, I think they'll grow back again, because many a times the milk of the mother spills on the babies and it becomes a small patch. And once that patch is removed, the whole hair part goes away. So if it is that, it can be taken care of on its own. Nothing has to be done. Nothing has to be taken care of. But if there is some sort of redness, some itchiness, or anything else, or these patches are increasing in size, spreading from one place to another, then it needs to be taken care of. The first thing is clean them with Betadine, normal Betadine liquid or Savlon liquid. And again, apply Betadine ointment. If it responds within 1 or 2 days, it's fine. Otherwise, consult a vet again for it.
Okay. Thank you. I'm a little confused with the next question. Maybe, because you have 20 years of experience, you'll be able to understand it better. So this is Mansi again with her pug. She's saying is not eating dog food. After he eats pedigrees and stick, he do vomits, and he likes food what we eat, ghee roti and all rice khichdi and chatar patar, as he have thyroid too.
Because it has these feeding habits doesn't have anything to do with the thyroid at all. These are basically the problem that the owners have, frankly speaking. No offenses. Sorry, I don't want to offend anyone. But the basic.
No, but it is true. You know, the dogs train us also. So.
Frankly speaking, I'm a vet. Throughout the day I keep on telling the owners, don't give this to your dogs, don't give this to your dogs. But in the evening, I myself are giving something or the other to my own pets. So I don't blame the owners. It's the basic psyche. You can't go above it. It's very difficult when a cute two eyes are watching you and asking for something. You can't ignore them, frankly speaking. Coming back to the question, I think what she wants is the diet that they are eating. She's more interested in eating that.
Yeah.
We can give it. There's no need of giving pedigree. Ghee roti with a small quantity of ghee is fine. The chapati is normal carbohydrate. You can add a bit of protein. It could be you can add chapati with paneer, or you can stuff the chapati with paneer and then you can give it, or you can give egg chapati, or even you can give maybe dal with the normal salt and haldi without any sort of spices and oil in it.
Right.
With chapati that can be given to her. No issues in it. Everything could be easily managed, but chatar pat band kar do. That should not be given.
Mansi, it's your dog's lucky day. He has an approval stamp from the vet to eat whatever he wants. Radhika is saying, can you please share the branch that is open and what are the timings?
We are working only in Rohini Sector 8 branch, and we are working from 10 to 2 and 5 to 8. But we recommend her to call before coming so that we can place the appointment accordingly.
Yeah. And Radhika, you can find the number on Doggy World handle, or also I've posted it in the comments. We'll post it again so you can have direct access. And you have again a lot of thank yous from Nidhi and Omi Auntie. And then we have Raju. He's asking, good evening, ma'am. Should RID be used for pets as a treatment for ticks?
RID is actually very sensitive issue because RID poisoning is very common in the dogs.
Oh.
You can use, you can use RID. That's a good product. It removes all the ticks. But only thing is, even if a slight licking happens during the time of application, it could lead to major problems. I have seen dogs dying because of RID poisoning. So I don't recommend my owners never do that on their own. If they want it, it has to be very carefully done. Put a e-collar before giving him a bath so that it doesn't cause any sort of ticking. And till the time the pet is not dried up properly, he should not be allowed to lick. And why to go for such harsh chemicals? There are milder versions available in the market.
What do you recommend? What alternatives do you recommend for it then?
A normal anti-tick shampoos having maybe normal Scissor-Flux shampoos are there, tick-free shampoos are there, tick-free, sorry. And any sort of anti-tick shampoos, they are comparatively milder versions. And believe me, you won't be able to remove all the ticks in a single go. So don't worry if by a single bath you won't be able to clean everything. But you must combine it with some preventive measures as well. Because if you're giving him a bath, he'll go out and in the evening he'll collect more ticks. So prevention is always better to go along with the bathing. Preventive measures may you can apply a tick collar, you can apply a tick drop or a tick spray. So if you combine these two things, you won't need RID or any sort of harsh chemicals for that. Even if it's needed, like if it's a severe infestation, I would prefer go to a proper grooming parlor where the trained professionals are there, then get it done with these type of chemicals.
Okay, well, that's very good to know, because it's so readily available and we just buy it and apply. So thank you for that. underscore AOTW is asking, ma'am, how can we train a senior dog do potty at home only?
To do potty at home?
Home.
Why do you want to well, it's the reverse thing. Normally people ask me to how to potty train him outside, and this is the first person I think who's asking me the reverse question.
I think maybe because he said it's a senior dog, maybe the dog has some problems going out. That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe a senior dog, but believe me, a dog who has got the habit of relieving himself outside, he won't relieve in the house. But I have seen dogs who haven't relieved themselves for 4 days, 5 days. The paralyzed dogs who can't move and we can't take them out, they don't relieve themselves. It's really, frankly speaking, a very difficult task to get them to relieve in the house once they are trained for it.
Yeah.
At this age, changing habits is next to impossible.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I agree. You know, my dog was really sick and he would just not go. I had to take him to the vet to get his bladder drained out because he refused to like go in the house. He just would not like do it. So that's, I think it's how he's trained, and that's what we had to do. Eventually, we had to go to the vet to help him out. But, and Radhika Singh, she missed the answer to this question. What is a hotspot? So if we can just talk about a hotspot.
Hotspot is basically a small itchy patch that develops on your dog's body. And these develop basically 90% of the chances it develops because of some external parasite. Let it be tick, let it be flea, or any scratch that it develops while playing around and it starts scratching it. So that area become inflamed, become red, and a bit itchy. That's the hotspot. It's just a superficial area, maybe at the bald place of the body or just under the hair.
Okay. So, okay, you have again a lot of thank yous from Ronak and from Anjali, who's my mother-in-law, who had all these questions also for you. So, and again, now more questions for you. Shreya's asking, which is the right time to spay a female Spitz?
A dicey question, though the recommended age is 6 months plus. But frankly speaking, we prefer that one cycle should pass through. It doesn't have any scientific reason. Only thing is it leads to the maturity of the pet.
Okay.
Once the one cycle that is around 8 months, 9 months, it comes, and once it has passed, we prefer it after that. So maybe around 1 year, she's ready for the spaying. But as per the books, as per the normal schedule, we can start it anytime after 6 months of age.
Okay. Shweta is also saying thank you. She's the one with the Dachshund. And Hippie Moonlight is asking, I tried mating my 4-year-old GSD with a female, but does not make any advances towards her. Not does the female. Both the dogs only want to be close to their respective parents. What can be the cause?
The one most common reason would be that the female might not gain the proper heat, because normally what happens at the time of the proper heat only she'll allow any dog to come near, and even the male will be attracted only once the female is releasing certain pheromones. These are the smell that they get from the females, and then only they get excited and they want to be near the females. So it might be she might not be in the proper heat phase, so she must not have attracted the male, and even she was reluctant not to be close to the.
She's saying the bitch also growls at my dog time and again.
Might be she doesn't like him. Just joking. Only thing is that they'll be happy together only once the female is in a proper heat. Right. So normally a proper heat comes once the cycle starts, 9th to 14th day, anywhere between 9 to 14th day of the cycles. So this could be the ideal period in which you can try to introduce them again, and might be she'll like him then.
Rahul is asking, what is the best medicine for ticks? Rahul, we went through this question, so I'm not going to ask again because I see a lot of questions. Sandy is asking, I have a lab of 4 years. He's always scratching his ear. Any solution for his itching problem for ear?
If he's regularly scratching his ears, there might be excessive wax production, as we discussed, that needs to be taken care of. Might be some sort of infection in the ear, and any growths in the ear canal, they also lead to some sort of scratching. So a normal ear drops you can try. Maybe a Pomisol drop comes, or epiotic drops that can be given. But for a continuous thing, it needs to be taken care of.
Right.
It needs to be shown to a vet if there's some sort of infection, if some sort of growth in the ear canal, that needs to be taken care of. But two things you have to take care: while bathing him, put some cotton in the ear, plug some cotton in the ear so that water doesn't go inside, because that's the most common source of infection in the ear canal. And second is, you can try with the normal antibiotic drops like Pomisol. Give it thrice a day, and maybe look for a week. If it improves, it's fine. Otherwise, visit it.
We have a cat question now. Gitanjali is asking, is it okay to shave off the fur of my Persian cat?
No, not at all. Not at all. I would never recommend that, because Persians, they've got a very thick texture, and the undercoat is quite thick. So once you remove it, the skin is so exposed. The initial days of the cat is very horrible. She'll try to hide in every nook and corner of the house. She will come out. Many a times they become sick also, and they stop eating. And the regrowth of the coat is always very bad. So for a cat, I would never recommend, especially the Persian, don't go for a close shave. If at all there is lumping or there's some skin problems and we need to remove it, try to reduce it to maybe 0 level, or some centimeters need to be stopped. But don't go for a complete shave off. Never go for it.
Okay, thank you. Rohit is saying, due to lockdown or sealing, police is not allowing us to take the dog out for walk. We need to make him do potty at home. That's why he was asking.
I don't think police will stop you in taking out your dog. This could be reduced, yes. Number of times you can reduce it down, but a pet needs to be relieved, and I don't think they can stop you in doing that. Only thing is, you have to maintain the basic precautions, like you don't have to meet anyone. You have to just take him for a walk and come back as fast as possible. But they can't stop you from taking it. This is like something. And I think they are allowing it also. You can request to them and you can talk to them.
Yeah.
But a dog won't do it at home. He has been trained so far, so many years to leave outside. He won't start doing it now, and it will lead to a health problem. Once he'll start stopping the urine, it'll increase the bladder loads, and all those problems will start coming. So maybe you can reduce the number of visits, but take him down only.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I have not seen anyone being stopped from walking dogs, Rohit. I mean, we have 4 dogs at home, and we've been taking them for regular walks. We're just not going far. We are not going to dog parks, and we're not going to any public places as such. We just go walk in our lane and we come back, and I think that should not be a problem. Okay, my mom-in-law is asking, what is your suggestion about shaving dogs in summer?
Which breed is it, first thing?
Generally, I guess, because we have different types.
Frankly speaking, I never recommend a shave for a dog. Reason being, the coat of the dog is meant to take care of the skin. It's a first line of barrier over their skin. So once we are removing that coat, we are creating a hostile environment wherein other parasites could come in. It could be bacterial, like fungal, any sort of infection could come in. Plus, the blades that are being used at the time of grooming, if they are not properly cleaned or properly sanitized, it might transfer the infection from the earlier dog to this dog. So that is also very important. And I recommend close shaving only in case there is an existing problem going on. Suppose there's a skin infection going on, or heavy tick infestation is going on that needs to be taken care of. Only in those conditions, the dog should be shaved. Otherwise, it won't serve any purpose, because the coat, it will protect the dog. So skin is not supposed to be exposed to the external things.
No, like you also mentioned, the dog's coat adjusts automatically for the weather that is coming.
Yes.
So thinner coat and thicker coat.
Yes, it changes accordingly. Plus, even the coat is made in such a way that it traps the air also.
Right.
In the
Okay.
summer, they trap the air and it keeps the body cool. So they have got their natural mechanism to take care of them. And moreover, in cities like Delhi, 90% of the dogs are indoor and they are sitting in the AC and all the luxury they are enjoying.
True.
Why
Yeah.
not shave them off? I've seen people shaving them off and then putting t-shirts or summer dress on them. What's the fun on that? Let them be a natural thing, because that is a natural barrier that protects the dog.
Yeah.
So unless there's some underlying problem, some disease going on the skin, some ticks infestation is there, don't go for a shaving.
Yeah, no, thanks, Mom, for asking that, because I think that happens. We see that a lot, because the people just go and shave their dogs without thinking, or even some non-experienced groomers recommend it because it's, once a dog is shaved, he has to keep coming back and it's like a source of money, but it doesn't serve any purpose. So, and okay, again, you have a few thank yous here. Radhika is saying this session is really helpful. Please do it more often. And AOTW is also saying thank you. Shreya is saying thank you. And Sudamani, I think we're getting close to the 1 hour mark, so I'll log you in again once it disconnects automatically. But in the meanwhile, Sudamani is asking, hi, our puppy is 3 weeks old now and he has had his 2 vaccines, corona and deworming, on 27th March and 5th April, but we could not go due to lockdown conditions. Just wanted to know if it's okay to delay.
Since he's a small pup, so majorly we'll be keeping him indoors only, though it is not always good to keep up vaccination delayed up. But looking at the current situation, since majorly it is indoors only, there's nothing to worry about. You can delay it for another week or 10 days. No issues in that. Just keep the pet indoors. Don't take him out for walks.
Okay. Thank you. Raju is asking about how to bathe his pug and Shih Tzu as he's running out of their shampoo. Raju, Doc has already answered this question. She said to use baby shampoo or even Savlon. So you can, watch this video again. It's going to be on the Dog Spot for 24 hours. She went into a lot of detail how to groom your dog with supplies at home. And okay, so Radhika is also asking, as summer is coming and weather will be really hot, do you recommend removing or trimming of the fur of Golden Retriever?
I don't recommend it.
No, right?
You can reduce it down to some extent if you feel that it is getting a bit untidy or it is getting clumpy or something. You can reduce it too, but don't go for a closure.
Right. And yes, my mom is saying that's what I wanted public to hear. She sees people shave their dogs every summer. She's a very experienced pet parent and she's also a dog show judge. Dog show judge, so she knows, but she just wanted, people to get a little aware of it. Yeah, sorry, I mean, Instagram does this after 1 hour, it likes to cut off. So we're live with Dr. Aradhana Pandey of Doggy World. She has clinics and grooming salons across Delhi. And we had some questions. So guys, sorry if I missed. If you want to just retype if we have not addressed your question so far, because once it gets disconnected, I can't see whatever questions were pending. So in the meanwhile, I just want to let all of you know, since you're all pet parents, that DogSpot is delivering food all across India. So if you need pet food, please log on to dogspot.in and you can place your order there for dog food, because I couldn't find food in the market, and that's what we've done at home as well. We had also posted Dr. Aradhana Pandey's number on the previous story, and we'll do it one more time right now, so you can contact her directly. She's open for emergencies at her Rohini clinic in Sector 8, and please schedule an appointment before you show up over there. Doc, what's your number again? Sorry.
Yeah, it is 98112
98112
99
yeah
059.
059. So I'm just posting it again. So in case you need a follow-up with the doc, or if you need to access her, this is the number. There you go. Shweta, your question was already answered about the immunity boosters during COVID-19. So we're not going to go there. And Radhika, yours also was answered about the delay in the vaccination. Okay, so Manish is asking, घर के doggy pets COVID-19 फैलाते हैं क्या?
Not at all. COVID-19 is a disease that can never be transferred through the dogs. It's altogether a different strain that doesn't happen in the pet animals. Corona, another strain of it happens in dog, but they have vaccines. They have been vaccinated all those years.
Right.
So this strain never affects the pet, and they can't transfer it to the human being.
True, and also certain precautions that with the previous sessions on dog spot that some vets have been recommending. If you're really worried, you can wipe the paws of your dogs before coming back after every walk. You can dilute Savlon in water and just use that solution to wipe their paws and before they come home. Otherwise, dogs are not transmitters, but the virus can stay on surfaces. So for that, you can just do a little wipe down.
Yes, definitely. The basic hygiene needs to be taken care of once you are taking your dog out. Don't let anyone else pet him. Just he might be infected. He might transfer the virus on the coat of the fur of the pet.
Yeah,
and that can be carried through his paws. It can be carried home. But the basic hygiene needs to be taken care of. Like once we are coming home, we are washing our hands with Savlon,
right.
Antiseptics, sanitizer. Same thing can be done with the pets also. Only just wipe their paws with any antiseptic or sanitizer. Take the disposable tissues and all instead of using a regular towel and all.
Yeah.
So that it can be removed. And even there are wet wipes that are available that can clean the body of the pet. Just add a few drops of Savlon or sanitizer to it, and you can wipe off the normal body like a massage sort of a thing and throw those tissues away. So the basic hygiene, obviously, that needs to be taken care of.
So she's asking, does normal alcohol-based sanitizer works on dogs?
I would prefer a Savlon solution because continuous usage of the alcohol will dry their paws and crack their paws. So I would recommend normal Savlon diluted in water, and that can be used directly on the paws as well as on the body.
So Hippie Moonlight has a follow-up question about her GSD mating. She's saying they both were meeting every day since her 9th day of cycle till almost 15th day. This is also their first time mating. Why didn't he mate? Why didn't they mate?
Many a times, apart from the hormones playing the role, there are other things also that come into consideration. Like they might be shy, they might not be comfortable doing it. So there are handlers who are available. They are basically the trainers who help them do these procedures. Maybe next time you take the help of some professionals that handle the dogs at this time, so that they are not aggressive. And maybe try changing a dog also. Maybe try with some other dog. Many times, if they don't like, as he was saying, that she is growling every time she sees him. So maybe she is not comfortable with that particular dog. So try doing it with some other dog. That might help.
Thank you. Morpheus is saying he has a Shih Tzu who keeps biting and scratching himself all the time, and has spotted dandruff on his skin. Any way to avoid these?
Most probably it's the dandruff that is causing the problem. So for the itching, you can use the normal anti-dandruff shampoos that are available, but that has to be the pet ones.
Okay.
The pet anti-dandruff shampoos are available. One option is Conazep, another is Ketoconazole. These are easily available with any veterinary shop, and they are good anti-dandruff shampoos. If it is only because of the dandruff, it can be taken care of just by these type of shampoos. Initially, you have to do it maybe twice in a week for 2 to 3 baths, and after that, a normal schedule can be followed up.
Okay.
though a brushing and as I told you, the normal massaging in the reverse direction from tail to head, it also helps to a great extent.
Right.
In removing the dandruff.
So Hippie Moonlight is saying, true, changing the dog, but finding a mate is so difficult. Thank you. I'll also try a handler next time. Finding a mate is difficult for everyone. So.
Yeah.
Okay, Doc, I think we finally kind of eased on the question. So before we let you go, do you have any general tips for people that you feel like you get certain questions a lot?
There are certain things that I need to highlight here. It has nothing to do with the pet health. It's general anxiety that has been created these days. One thing is about the COVID only. So
Oh, sorry, we lost you.
I would recommend it. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So one thing is don't panic with this COVID thing, because the pets are not a source of COVID. They are not spreading us. They are not getting infected with it, because many a times in the last 15 days, I've got loads of people coming for the vaccination of their dogs, that their corona is due and we want it. Even in the lockdown, we want it. So don't worry, it is not spreading in the dogs. Have patience. Once the lockdown is over, go for it. Second thing is, do visit the vets only in case of emergencies. Many a time we've come across people who are saying that it's an emergency, and they'll end up with the nail cutting things or with the grooming sessions they want. So try to understand that even we are risking our lives, we are risking the lives of our staff, and we are doing everything to take care of your pup's emergency. So try to understand the real emergencies that are coming with us.
Right.
So these are 2-3 things that I want to highlight. That's it.
Yeah, no, seriously, we've been saying it in all our sessions as well. On DogSpot, we've been saying, please don't abandon your pets out of fear or misinformation. You're your whole world to your pets. They don't know anything else. Their whole world revolves around you. So don't panic and just leave them somewhere or abandon them at a shelter, because they are not carriers of COVID-19. They're only carriers of love for you. They actually help so much with our mental health in this difficult time. Like all your stress, you're bored, you're sitting at home.
Stress relievers.
Yeah.
They are the biggest stress reliever in this time. And if they are not around, believe me, 80% of the people will go into depression if they don't have a company at home with such.
Yeah, definitely. Like me and my whole family, for sure. I think also, I don't know what day it is, but at least my day is still structured because of my dog's timings, walk and so,
definitely.
Sorry, Doc, we got one question about a puppy. So, those are always good to know. So my puppy wakes up and at night around 2 to 3 times, I guess, from past couple of days, and refuses to sleep on his bed. So
I think it might be because of the weather, the change in weather. It is becoming a bit warm, so he's not ready to sleep on the beds. They prefer sleeping on the floor. And getting up in midnight, many a times it is they are less on activity, so they are active even at the night. So they wake up. Only thing is, you don't have to wake up with them. Let them play around on their own, and they'll sleep on their own. If you start waking up and you start spending time with them, they'll definitely wake you up every night. So it would be difficult to ignore them for the initial 2-3 days, but just ignore them at the night. Don't give them anything. Don't play with them. They'll sleep on their own. Yes, beds. Otherwise, they won't sleep on the beds.
Otherwise, the puppy is training you to wake up whenever he wants to play. So.
Yes, that is.
Okay, Morpheus is asking us about a Shih Tzu. He's saying, what should I be doing with the hair? Do you prefer keeping it short at this period? With the dandruff?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I would prefer keeping it.
Okay. And Radhika is saying, can the normal vaccination be delayed?
Yes, it can be delayed. Another 15-20 days, no issues in that. It can be delayed.
Okay.
because the immunity of the vaccines remain in the body. It's not like on a particular day it will completely stop.
Right.
So it will be there. So we can delay it another 15 20 days. No issues.
Thanks. And Gitanjali is saying, is it okay to apply neem oil on paws before going out for a walk?
After going would be a better option. Once he has come up, you clean the area and then you can apply neem oil. That would be a better option.
Okay, and then you have a ton of thank yous from everyone. So thank you so much, Dr. Pandey. I mean, sorry. Do you want to do one last question?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so the GSD again. She's saying my GSD also keeps humping my leg every night with a pillow he cannot live without. Why does he only do that on me?
That there's no solution for it. Only thing is get him sterilized. That's the only option. Keep him active, increase the exercise, make him more like a exhausted person. So if he'll run around before sleeping, he'll be exhausted, play with him, so that his energy levels go down. Once it is down, it will reduce to some extent, but ultimately you have to get him stabilized to get these humpings gone forever.
Okay. So one golden retriever, his name is Gucci, cute. He's saying my fur is shedding a lot even after daily brushing. What can you do?
Again, add some coat conditioners to his diet, add some omega-3 fatty acids to his diet. As I told, Glossy Coat, Nutri-Coat, these are a good options for that.
Okay. And can we apply aloe vera on paws?
Yes, that can be applied. That's a natural thing that can be easily applied for the paws. It will keep the paws soft and it will keep infections at bay. That can be done.
Okay. And two questions, which is the same question, so I'll just combine it. So they're saying, what is the proper age for a dog to get them sterilized?
For a male dog, it will be, again, as I told you, around 7 months is the ideal age. People prefer it after attaining an age of 1 year, but we can start right from 7 months to any time.
Okay. All right, Doc, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for your patience and time. It was great chatting with you. And thank you for answering so many of our viewers' questions. So again, guys, if you want follow-up questions or appointments with the doctor, her details we've listed in the comments. These are available for 24 hours. Otherwise, her handle is at Doggy World Delhi. You can contact there as well. And her clinic in Rohini Sector 8 is open for emergencies only. So I think we've lost the dog. Her connection's gone. So thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.